A massive thank you to my wonderful Patreons, Medical Carcass 9, Gordon C, Ant Nation, Dragon Bloom, and my other Patreons as well. This video is dedicated to you. For as little as $1 a month, you can support the channel and you'll get early access to videos, behind the scenes information, and plenty of other perks on different levels as well. So I really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Well, I am super proud of this build. It was a long build and it's taken a lot of time to bring this to you all, but I'm super happy with how it's turned out, and my meat ant colony are certainly happy to have a brand new outworld with plenty of room to move around and to forage, and I just love that I've got plenty of room to be able to film them now. And it's just because of the support of my Patreons that I was able to do this as well. They had some behind the scenes looks at the build as it was going on and knew what I was planning, and they really helped me with it too, with some ideas and some feedback as well. So a huge thank you to my wonderful Patreons. So let's have a look at this new outworld for them and see how I constructed it and how things went and how it turned out. So to begin with, I had this large tank as such, and as you all know, if you've been watching this channel, I like to use plaster to build up my nests and my outworlds. So what I've done here is with the plaster, I've mixed it with a cement colour to give it that sort of brown dirt look, and it really has turned out nice. It's a very messy process to begin with, and what I wanted to do was really fit in some things that made it look real, like it was real desert earth out here in Australia, which the meat ants come across quite often, and you see them in their natural habitat. So what I've done here is I've mixed up different dirts and sands and placed it on the top here, and it's nicely stuck down there to that plaster. I've put in some nice rocks, and I've also tried to give it a bit of gradient as well, so you can see the landscape, and I've got plenty of room here to explore and on different levels. It's really good. I'm really happy with it, and I've inserted some nice grass into it as well and some extra twigs, as we can see here. Really happy with how this has turned out. I'm really keen to see what you think as well. But as we go through the video, I'm going to show you some footage and a few little tips and how I went about making the nest that you see in front of you right now. And it's fantastic to be able to have a huge tank like this. This is an old aquarium that I got second hand that I've converted into this beautiful outworld for my meat ants that continue to grow really crazy fast. Now I've also upgraded their nest, and this is the first part of the upgrades for this colony. I have the nest upgrade, and then I've got another video where I move them in to their new nest and their new outworld. So please subscribe to the channel if you haven't, because those videos will be coming up as well. So this is the first one in this series of my upgrade for the meat ants. So what I've done here is I've set some of these rocks actually into the plaster so they're nice and solid and they don't move around. I've got some extra dirt and some different fibres and thrown it in here as well to give the ground some good texture and some different areas for the meat ants to actually be able to explore, a little bit like that natural habitat. What I've done is I've actually pulled out some natural grasses out of the dirt surrounding my place, and I've inserted them into the plaster as well, just to give it a nice feel as much as possible of what an outside world would look like. Now the actual entrance in here, we have one entrance into it, and what I've done is I've put a Y-piece in there, so they've got two tunnel entrances into the nest, and I've mounted it up there as well to give it a bit of height, just to imitate a little bit of what it's like there in the wild. Now I've got these nice grass which give it a bit of height there as well. So we can see the two entrances here. What I've done is I've run tubing down into a nice T-piece, which is really good just to give it a little bit of variety, and also interesting to watch them come and go out of those two nest entrances. With the grass, they will probably tear it apart a little bit, but it's nice just to have a little bit of texture inside here, and I've used a few of these sticks and a few rocks around the area just to give it a nice sort of earthy feeling, and I hope you really like how the outworld has turned out. Now a few extra things to do with this build though and this nest. What I've tried to do is I've coloured that plaster as I mentioned right at the beginning, so if they do remove some of the sand and the dirt off the top, it still actually has that natural sort of dirty colour underneath as well. And I always use a non-toxic plaster just in case. And I like how it rises up here to the mound, to the nest entrance as well, to try and give it a little bit of a natural feel. Now what I've done here is I've got an aquarium light, which I'll get into in a second here, which gives it a nice full glow right across the nest itself, as you can see here. So plenty of light coming in, and I also have a nighttime filter on it as well, which I will show you shortly as well. Really cool to see that. So on the top here, as you can see, this is a nice long aquarium light with the different coloured LEDs, which give you a nice natural daylight feeling to it. Now if I turn the lights off here, you can see what it's like without it on, and you can see the top here and the construction that went into the top. So what I'll do, I'll explain the top of the outworld now and what went into making that, because I had a mate, Cello, which you've seen once before in my bull ant dig. He came to help me because he knows how to build everything. So let's have a look at the top of the nest here and how that came about. Basically what it was is some aluminium angles and sheeting here, and what's happened here is we've cut out a large square at the top, and I've put a fly mesh or screen mesh on the top here, and this is actually a metal mesh. But what it does is it provides plenty of ventilation into the outworld. I need lots of ventilation in here so there's no mold forming, no condensation on the glass as well. What I've done here is these are both removable as well. You can just pop them off here. They're a nice snug tight fit, and I've run silicone right the way around underneath this lid as well. So that's one of the final lines of defense here, just in case the meat ants want to climb. And what I've done is I've run Fluon all around, and I will continue to run that around the top of the nest to make sure they can't get out as well. But you can see the silicone here running right the way along, just to give it a nice good seal to make sure none of them escape. So really cool, really happy with how that is, and I think the ventilation is going to go really nice in this large tank. And this tank is about 900 millimeters long, or about 3 foot. So when I turn the lights on here now, you can see plenty of natural light here, but what I'm going to do is turn on the nighttime filter so you can see what that looks like. And here we go. So that's a nighttime filter, and I can actually kill the lights out here as well, and there we go. What we've got here is what it looks like under like a bright moonlight. And how cool is this effect? Absolutely looks amazing, and really does transform what it looks like out here, and I can't wait to get the colony in and show you what that looks like as well. I think you're really going to love this colony in a large tank like this. Definitely something they do deserve. So there you go, that's the lighting system that I have, the ventilation and the roofing system on this, and you can see how much effort I've put in to doing a nice big build like this. Fantastic, I'm really excited, and yeah, it's because of my amazing support that I have of my Patreons, and all of you by watching and liking and sharing my videos really makes it possible for me to make more and more videos like this, and to show you and to give you some ideas, because creating worlds like this for your colonies really is satisfying, and it's a beautiful centerpiece to have on my desk out in my garage in the ant room, and just being able to look around this world and try and get the viewpoint of the ants as they are foraging and scavenging through the outworld like this really is amazing. So I hope you really enjoyed this new outworld. It's going to be exciting, so stay tuned for the introduction of my new nests for the colony, but then also the move-in of the colony to this amazing outworld. Really do appreciate all of your support over the years, as well as we approach 5,000 subscribers. For as little as $1 a month, you can support the channel, and you'll get early access to videos, behind the scenes information, and plenty of other perks on different levels as well. So I really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Well, thank you so much for watching the video all the way through here. Please hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel. There's a video there recommended for you which you might like by YouTube, and I've picked one that I think you might really enjoy as well. Thank you always for watching, and remember, happy ant keeping.